Man, I know this man mama, bro. I've changed this man's family. John Legend and Big Sean got used quick by the Democrats, and I don't rock with neither of them.
Good Music, founded in 2004 by Kanye West. What happened to Good Music, the collective? Matter of fact, what happened to the hip-hop crew in general? Once upon a time, the hip-hop crew was the promised land for solo artists to attain. Once you got to a level you became successful on your own, next step was to form your own crew under your own label. Of course, it didn't have to be that way. A crew like Cash Money started off organic and rode the same horses for years, but even they fell apart and today are held together by threads. Rockefeller, Bad Boy, TDE, Young Money, Maybach Music, Odd Future, Taylor Gang, Slaughterhouse, ASAP, even Griselda. None of those crews are what they were today, outside maybe one artist who himself in 2022 is looking to find footing in this generation. Has hip-hop geared more to the solo artist nowadays? Is this new generation of social status caused artists to want to stand alone in their own world? One crew in particular that was expected to survive time and continue putting out good music was in fact Good Music. In the early 2010s, Good Music ran the game as far as crews. They had the perfect mix of artists that were cut from true hip-hop cloth and one specializing in making hits. They even had some that could do both. Not to mention, they had the self-proclaimed greatest music artist of all time, Kanye West. One thing you could count on with Good Music was quality and innovation, along with hit singles that changed a wave in the culture each drop. They worked together seamlessly back then and serviced the hip-hop community every summer and winter with rap music for the soul. Artists like Chyhi the Prince, Kid Cudi, and 2 Chainz. Pusha T was the rapper credibility as far as bars and an image in the vein of the typical rapper, in a good way. They had the beautiful songstress Teyanna Taylor. John Legend brought his one-of-a-kind voice cut from the old-school cloth of male singers. Proven artists like Common, Mos Def, and producers that were some of the dopest in the game like No ID, 88 Keys, Mike Dean, and of course one of the best rap producers of all time, Kanye West. They were going platinum or at least gold with multiple artists that have since left the crew by 2022, with Kanye the last of that caliber. Big Sean, who was the future, has also left in 2021 to sign with Roc Nation, which may have led to Kanye saying this.
When I die, on my tombstone it's gonna say, I deserve to be here because I signed Big Sean.
The worst song is the best!
What happened to the beloved Good Music? And can hip-hop crews still last going forward? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Roc Music. Let's get it, man.
Just want to shout out to my dog, new Good Music artist, Big Sean, straight out the D. Finally famous in the building. Holla.
Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Although founded in 2004, the first Good Music project not assisted by a major label didn't release until Big Sean's debut in 2011 that went platinum, followed by the collective project that also reached platinum status behind heavy hit features like Jay-Z, Raekwon, Mace, and Ghostface. And of course, the home team that brought everything needed to produce what would be Good Music's only album as a crew. It's been 10 years since that album, with it almost being certain it will remain the only album ever released as a Good Music studio album. Throughout the years, Good Music has seen some of the highest caliber of artists walk in and eventually leave their label by 2022. Artists like Common, John Legend, one of its initial flagship artists, and only ever on the label not named Kanye, Big Sean, or Kid Cudi, to go platinum and probably the most successful. Of the crew, John has the most Grammys behind Kanye West. Kid Cudi left and came back multiple times and on paper isn't signed to Good. Mos Def, Teyanna Taylor, Designer, and of course Kanye's most prized loss, Big Sean, who left because, quote, to start getting a bigger cut, marked the official end of an era with Good Music until they can reload again. Stunt number 1, swim or sink expectations. The thing about a label like Good Music, ran by one of the best, most successful, talented, and polarizing artists of all time, is when you sign to them, expectations then go through the roof to be either just as or close to the quality, popularity, and success of Kanye West. It's like taking a big fish from a small pond and placing him in a big shark-ran sea and asking it to swim alongside or close by. Only that's not possible outside of rare artists like Big Sean or Kid Cudi, who could stand on their own as big sharks in the game if they wanted to. A designer signing to Good Music was always set up to fail because designer could never produce the same demand like a Kanye, and it really isn't his fault. Let's admit it, he got lucky with Panda. Everything came together perfectly around the release of that song. For one, Future was the hottest rapper in the game in 2015, releasing his best and highest peaking album DS2. For Designer to sound just like him or close to it was like Steph Curry lighting up the league, then every team looking to play just like the Warriors, and every player thinking they could too shoot logo threes. Or the dominance of Michael Jordan, leading to every team wanting a 6'6" wing they could call Baby Jordan. But Designer was just too underdeveloped, and his talent wasn't ready for that stage of expectations, so he sank. No shame to him, because many artists outside Sean, Cudi, Legend, and Kanye sink in the same sea for the same reasons. If any artist can go elsewhere and be their own big fish in someone else's ocean, or create their own, why would they, like Big Sean said, get a small cut and deal with the unattainable expectations being on Good Music? Artists like Mos Def and Common had no chance recreating what they did early in their career, so why stay Good Music and be paid by Kanye when, for example, they could go to a Koch who'd love to have a name like such and receive more money and less expectations to be as popular or sell like Kanye. Stunt number 2, lasting talent. Which brings me to this. The problem with almost all crews that's ever been in hip-hop is what percentage of the artists we expect to have talent that could stand on its own and possibly build their own label in the future. It's like any team. There's always going to be a star player or star players. Then they're surrounded by role players that do their jobs around those guys in the minute ways they can. Good Music just didn't have much lasting talent outside John Legend, Kid Cudi, and Big Sean. Pusha will always be in a pocket where he's respected, but even he never sold albums, nor win awards, nor even be a popular rapper in the game enough to carry a label on his own. When those artists left Good Music, it was slowly breaking and eventually came to a halt after Sean left and Kanye attempted to bury his memory. Big Sean, though, doesn't get enough credit for how much he's carried Good Music over the years and made what outside of him is an old label artist-wise that had no youthful energy to them before or during his tenure that could put up numbers on the board like he could. He held Good Music on the map even when Kanye was hitting his lowest strides with Yeezus, L.O.P., Ye, and Jesus is King from 2013 to 2019. This was peak Big Sean, Good Music's one consistent, lasting talent outside Kanye. Cudi is cool, but he's weird sometimes and also doesn't release enough music. And he's just weird sometimes, if I haven't mentioned. Did they think signing a young, trend-like designer would last? An older 2 Chainz recreating himself after 35? Even though Chainz is nice. Teyanna Taylor, who most rather watch than listen to? Consequence, the flip side of that? Good Music isn't around anymore because none of their talent were built to last, outside the ones that left. With rap changing generations and most Good Music artists being older, it's only expected they now move aside. Stunt number 3, Kanye West. Course, this couldn't end without blame placed on Mr. Polarizing himself, Kanye West. The thing about having Kanye at the helm is that he's so big an artist, he can't possibly service each artist on the label with enough juice to last enough time those artists can stay hot. being an artist himself that's still striving to create and push creativity musically, it's just impossible. Besides giving you the platform, he also has to make the beats, executive produce, write, help with rollout, press. There's only so much he can do on Sundays, you know? I think when an artist signs to Good Music, they expect Kanye to stand by their side as if that'll make them hot alone. It's rare he signs a Big Sean that could stand and make moves all on his own and one day be in the same room as the greats. Kanye also has his own ego to feed. With all the controversy he gets into and time needed to do things like run for president, how could an artist on his label even keep up or at least steal attention from Kanye? Busy Kanye is also the reason no new artist has been signed to Good Music of any relevance since Designer in 2016, who quickly showed that was a mistake. To move into the modern times, Good Music needed and needs new artists. Because everything going on with Kanye, that probably won't be a focus anytime soon. All in all, Good Music ran its course. Like Rockefeller, Bad Boy, Cash Money, and any other crew you can drudge up. Crews weren't made to last because humans are too selfish to share the spotlight. Eventually, when an artist gets too big, he's gonna want his own place to shine. In 2022, the spotlight with social media and the power of the internet couldn't be brighter. Bad news for crews, and for these reasons, Good Music's growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music, and I'm out.